Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of this video, I basically sat down and did my makeup while I was talking to you guys. Last night I posted a story on my Instagram for my close friends and I basically asked them to give me things to talk about. I got a few replies. As you can tell, I'm filming this after I've already finished my makeup. I filmed the intro before and I absolutely hated the way I did it. Like, my makeup, I looked horrible. So after this intro video, you'll see that I already have my eyebrows done. I did do my eyebrows off camera because it does take me a while. Okay, so I just did my brows, and I do have like my skin prep on already. I have hyaluronic acid, moisturizer, and I have like this luminous glowy thing to make your makeup like dewy. I'm basically just gonna go through these replies and then I'll just talk as I go. Let's go see. I think there was like about 3 main topics that people wanted me to like talk about. Also, if you could hear like background music and my dog, don't mind it. My boyfriend's in the bed and my dog is in her kennel, so she's a little upset. Okay, so one of the main things that a lot of people wanted me to talk about was my labor or like my birth experience and all of that. So let's talk about it. I just want to start off by saying that epidural absolutely saved my life. Like, I don't know what I would have done without it. I feel like the pain, like a lot of people talk about, you know, like the pain of pushing and all of that. I didn't feel anything because of the epidural. Like, I didn't even know when it was time to start pushing because the nurse told me like, oh, you'll feel like a lot of pressure, like the epidural won't make you not feel that pressure of the baby coming out. So I thought like, oh, you know, I'll really feel it like once, you know, he's ready to actually come out, or like once I'm 10 centimeters dilated. I think I took a nap and I woke up and the nurse came in to check me and she was like, okay, it's time to push. And it kind of just went from there. I felt like passing out while I was pushing, and I think it was just because like there was a lot going on and I couldn't believe what I was going through. So I got up to about 5 centimeters without the epidural, but the pain just went from like a 1 to a 10 within like 10 minutes. Once I hit 5 centimeters, I couldn't stand the pain anymore. I was like screaming at the nurse, and I felt so bad afterwards, but I was like screaming at the nurse to give me the epidural. And while I was getting the epidural, I was shaking, like I couldn't stop shaking. I think the scariest part about it all was the epidural needle. I gave birth to my son Halloween morning, so October 31st is his birthday. And I think I was 28 weeks when I gave birth, so I was a few weeks early. I was like 2 weeks early. Okay, so I wanted to add this clip in because I totally forgot to like mention this when I was talking about this topic. But my recovery. So when I was in labor, I didn't tear, or like I think it was like the OB told me it was like a scratch. So I didn't tear anything, so I wasn't like how do I say it? I wasn't as sore, or like I wasn't as sore as I thought I would be. Like, I didn't need to take any ibuprofen or like any of the pills that they gave me. I totally forgot to talk about like, you know, my recovery and all of that, but I just wanted to add that little clip in here. Bye now. Okay, another one I also got a lot of is just like, how is my life as a mom now? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, but I love being a mom and I would not trade it for the world. You just experience this different kind of love. It's like, I don't know, my life feels complete. But yeah, I would go through it all over again just to have my son. Okay, I also wanted to talk about like postpartum. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I had a really easy time. Like, I feel like I was the most scared of postpartum just because of everything that I would hear about it or like read about it. But I feel like I had it really easy. Like, my son was a really easy kid. Like, the only time my kid cries is when he's hungry or he's tired. And I feel like I also had a lot of help, you know, like getting out the hospital and stuff. My boyfriend, you know, he takes good care of us. He takes good care of me. He was always making sure I was good. My mom also helped a lot with Kanoa. I feel like I didn't go through depression or like, you know, all these things that everyone said you would go through. But then again, everybody's different. And I totally forgot what step I am on. Okay, I need to lock in really quick for my contour, so give me a second. I also feel like I just have it really easy. Like, I have a lot of people who are willing to help me. And I feel like that's one of the best things when you have a kid, like just having people around you who, you know, want to help you. I'm also really like horrible at multitasking. So if I'm like blending, I feel like I can't talk at the same time as I'm blending because I'm like so focused. Also, I'm gonna go back to the life as a mom whole thing. So right now I don't work anymore. I am like a stay-at-home mom. My baby dad is the only one that's working. But that's just because I personally don't trust, like, I don't trust to take him to daycare. I just feel like there's so many crazy things that I see on the internet about daycare, and it terrifies me. Like, I couldn't imagine putting him in the daycare and then something happening to him. So I'd rather just stay home until, you know, I can have like a family member come out here from Guam and stay with us and like, you know, watch him while we're working. My nose, it looks so crazy, but trust the process. I promise you it will like all come together. But yeah, so I quit my job as soon as I found out I was pregnant. I was always sick. Like, that morning sickness, that first trimester was literally crazy for me. Whenever I would go to work, for some reason I would always feel the worst whenever I was at work. I would go to work and as soon as I got there, I would go straight to the bathroom and start throwing up. Like, my first trimester was the worst out of all three. I feel like my second one was the easiest. I feel like it also went by really fast. And then my third trimester, my back hurt, but my feet never got swollen, or like, you know, I feel like my nose didn't get swollen or anything like that. Yeah, my third trimester, my back was crazy. Like, I could barely ever sleep. I was also pregnant during the summer, so I was constantly like passing out. I was constantly fainting, which I don't think was normal. I also had low iron, so they gave me like vitamin D pills to take while I was pregnant, along with my prenatals. This is literally my favorite setting spray. And I really love glowy makeup. Like, for some reason, I feel like my face is way too dry for me to be doing matte, like a matte face. So I always just go for like that dewy makeup. Okay, so I'm going to continue with this list. Okay, another thing that got brought up a lot was moving away from home, or like, you know, how was my experience like moving to Washington from Guam. I believe it's like a 19-hour flight away from each other, or at least for us it was 19 or 17 hours. Came out here to Washington in 2020, and I'm not gonna lie, Washington is kind of depressing. I feel like in the beginning I was really homesick, like I was so depressed. It's just so hard to adjust to the weather, especially because in Guam it's literally summer all year round, and then when you come out here to Washington you have like all 5 seasons. If it's 5 seasons, I'm not sure. It's cold out here half of the time. Like, we only get sun for maybe 2-3 months. It's absolutely depressing coming from Guam because you can't just walk to the beach. The life back home is, I feel like it's so much slower than the life out here. This life is, it's so fast. If you're working, it's honestly just like working home. You don't really do much. I don't know, I feel like I just didn't really care to see Washington that much. It wasn't until I came out here that I actually started enjoying being out here in Washington, and I feel like that's because I had someone with me to like experience everything with me, and it wasn't as depressing as being out here by myself. I also didn't make friends until my junior year of high school. I came out here right after freshman year, and that was during COVID. So I came out to Washington during COVID, and I did my whole sophomore year online. And then when it came to my junior year, we were able to go back in person. And the first school that I went to was where I made friends. The move was extremely hard. The school I was going to was just horrible. My senior year, I transferred to a different school, and Kavai and I actually did our senior year together. My brush is kind of like, there's like some bristles or like hairs coming out from my brush. I'm just gonna try and remove them. So one of the main, I forgot what I was even talking about. Now I have to like actually think about what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I was talking about me being out here in the States and school. But yeah, so when Kavai came out here to the States, I moved to a different school, and I felt like that just changed everything. Like, the school that I was at before had like a dramatic effect on my mental health. And Kavai and I were also going through some things, you know, being long distance. Like, we actually weren't together at that time, but we were still talking. We were still, you know, like, we were still communicating with each other, and we were just going through things while I was in school. So anytime I think of that place, it just reminds me of being in that dark spot like that I was in while, you know, I was there. But yeah, once Kavai came out here and we changed schools, it changed everything for me. Like, we made the friends that we have now, and I love our friends. They're great. You know, and I actually forgot, oh my gosh, I forgot a step. I always put color corrector before I put concealer, and I totally skipped that. See, that's what happens when I talk too much. I can't focus. Okay, I'm gonna bake my face right now first so that I can put on my powdered products. Moving out here from Guam, moving from Guam to Washington was a crazy move. Washington was the first state that I ever like went to. It was my first time leaving Guam, and it was for good. Like, everything that I was used to, everything changed. I feel like now we're in a really great place, and you know, Kabai has really good jobs. Okay, I'm still baking my face, but what was I on? Moving. Pay's not enough back home. You know, like, the pay that we make out here, we can never make back home. Oh my gosh, I'm a little out of breath. If we were still back home, we would not have the things that we have now. We wouldn't have the car that we have now. I don't like how that blush looks. It's too light pink. I need like something a little darker. Okay, one more thing that I wanted to talk about, me coming back to YouTube. I had like the thought of, you know, coming back and doing YouTube already. It was just a matter of time. As soon as we got the money, I bought a camera. I bought the DJI Pocket camera, which is what I'm using to film right now. I didn't know I used to do YouTube when I was like in 8th grade, freshman, like around there. I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely hate this look, but it's just for the video. And we also bought this camera because my boyfriend's into like the car shows and stuff like that, car meets, stuff like that. So we got it also for rollers. I felt like it was a good camera for rollers. I really wanted to do YouTube because my son, like, now that I have a kid, I want to film everything. Like, I want him to have videos to watch when he grows up. And I also just love doing YouTube. This makeup is so bad. Like, I would probably not go out in this. Is it just me? But I feel like these blush colors just aren't doing it. I'm gonna buy like a full face of makeup, new makeup. So, makeup tutorial coming soon. Where's my highlighter? Where is that freaking... Oh. Before I do a makeup tutorial, I want to get like a bunch of new products. So I'm probably gonna order some on Sephora. The lighting is also not the best. Oh my god, I'm just ripping these out of my hair. Okay, I'm gonna do my lip combo first. Okay, I'm being a little conceited. My camera's about to die. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video off here. I hope you guys loved this video. I had so much fun making it, so I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!